Hey, what's good, everybody? So we back at it. Late night session. So you guys are gonna ride with me on this one. Hopefully you guys wake up and can check out some of these videos I'm posting. And yeah, let's get some let's get some algo talk in real quick. All right. So on this edition of Algo's Take, we talking robbing the banks. So I love making money on banks. Banks make money on us. So I think it's just it's just one of those scenarios where we got win-wins here. So personally, I like the banks to the downside today. There's just a lot of volatility. I mean, whether it's inflation or deflation, I mean, I don't really know which one's better for banks, but I do know I like this setup. All right. So what we have here, bullish move, right? Took it to highs around 51.42. Right. Bearish move for days. All right. Bullish move for days. And then we got a bearish top out right here. Tried to get outside of this candle, rejected, and pulled back inside of it. So this makes for a very easy trade setup, especially for Lotto Fridays. One of the things you want to look for in your trade ideas is always simplicity. Simplicity can, I mean, it helps you master the markets in a way that if you don't have, simplicity in your trading, it's just way harder to trade. So in this case, let's just talk about this. As you guys can see, I am drawing some levels currently. But you'll see with this kind of a trade idea, essentially what you'll do is you'll just take the break of the most recent candle. All right, so we have a high and low on this most recent daily candle right here. And once again, we're in bullish trend. So I am leaning more bearish. We're looking at Wells Fargo right now, WFC. You'll notice it does have a slight gap on the daily. Now it's not much, but once again, if we get bearish momentum under this 48.87, right, we could see this 48.49, possibly 48.36, and then we could even test some of these levels down here on a straight flush if something like that did happen. We do have Jackson Hole tomorrow today, so yes, Powell will be talking. And so that's another thing that we want to just pay attention to. So ideally in this scenario, essentially what we would have is, and let me get my text tool out. Essentially what we'll have is we'll have either our bearish scenario play out. Now with our bearish scenario, this is all just based on how the market's reacting to Powell talking. And then we have our bullish entry up here. All right. So, I mean, I don't want to context switch too much, especially tomorrow with, all the Fed talk going on. So there's not very many tickers I'm going to be keeping an eye on. The thing I like about banks is their whole sector, right? So if one of them is it moving, chances are they're all kind of doing the same thing. We're gonna make sure to mark our little gap here. All right. So this is a perfect profit target. This level right here, perfect profit target, right? We see that this level has acted as a resistance until it wasn't. So I like this area as well. It's profit target. And then of course we got lower levels down here. Let's mark that level. Boom. All right, cool. So let's zoom this in a little bit. And essentially all you're doing with this pattern, and I'll go back to the daily just to help you guys digest what I just did there. So all you really saw me do is essentially what I'm doing is I'm marking my profit targets at levels of previous closes or opens, right? So in these kind of essentially they're really the reason why they're so easy to play is because you can essentially take a break of one level to the next, if that makes sense for you guys. So we have these levels marked out on our daily chart. So now let's look into our, let's probably go 2 hour, just to see if there's any like formations or anything we can kind of see. All right. So we got a little bit of a cup type rounding base here. We've been handling off, right? But if this handle fails, then we can easily see how we can move into these levels. Also, I like the fact that we have an ignition here between this level and this level here, because that means that, there's a chance, and even, a couple times in here, we look at these candles specifically, all these candles right here, right? You can see how price action has moved pretty fluidly in this zone. All right, to where, yeah, if we got a break of this level right here, we could see price react pretty violently, down to that about 48.50 level right here, right? And we look to take profit where our little baby gap was on the daily, which is this green zone right here. Now that we've zoomed in a little bit more, we could probably take an upside move above this level right here, 49.41. Just looking at this on the 2 hour, I like our bullish entry right here. And then, I'd like for us to use these levels as more like take profit zones. All right. You'll notice that this big wick right here, all right, definitely is going to act as supply for us. So that's why I like multi-time frame analysis, because you might see something on the daily, come to an early conclusion, and then decide, no, actually, we might see something better as we move in. So there we go. So we're going to make our bullish entry right here, 49.41, bearish entry, 48.97. All right. And then, yeah, 49.41. Yep. And then we could take that for about 50 cents or so, to the upside on that, get into this demand zone right here. And then, of course, if we break that, there's nothing but air up here. And now I'm noticing we even have a gap right here that we'll definitely want to identify. And this is on Wells Fargo. If you look at the other banks, and we'll switch to those real quick. I'm not going to chart all those, but you'll see something similar in every scenario here with these banks, especially with the pattern that's on the daily chart. So that moved over here, gap. I'm just going to title these for you so you guys can see like how I discovered these, and then of course, be able to apply that to your own technical analysis. All right, and then, yep, we're good. All right, so I'm just gonna show you guys this on the daily again. All right, just so you guys can see levels and whatnot. We know where our bullish entry, our bearish entry is, and we zoomed in on a tighter time frame to really see these entry points a little cleaner, especially for the bullish. Bearish entry, I think it's ideal and clean, and it's very close to where price action currently is. We're going to have to push up to get into bullish entry. So let's see what happens. But once again, I do like bearish. I like the gap we have down here. I like the fact that we saw price action, move in flurries up and down in this zone right here, especially if we get the bearish move. Let's check BAC real quick. You'll notice a similar pattern on BAC. All right, from its highs, very bullish move, right? Been bearish since, and really indecisive bearish, especially with all these dojis here. Right, went bullish, and then we get a reject right here. All right, so we know exactly where our our supply zone is. It's in this zone right here. And then we also know how to formulate puts, right? We would take the low of, right? So if this guy opens lower, and I don't know where it is right now, 42.28. Okay, so it's moved up a little bit. Right, but if this opens lower, you have very clear levels. If we do get some downside momentum, just to be able to play on. That's one thing I like about this play. Let's probably gonna move in on a lower time frame now. Let's see what that 4 hours looking like. All right, let's get our price level in right here. Got quite a few touches. And then let's formulate our bullish thesis for this. All right, so I like this because we got, just like the other, we have two directions that things can go. But really, it just all depends on what happens in the talks today. I will say this much based on the little bit of price action we got so far. This guy does have about a 16-cent spread, but it's not the worst ever when it comes to the price action we've already had. So we're going to look for bullish entry above 42.50. Right, and of course, that means that we would be looking to take profit at the top of the, moving into the supply zone right here. So that's TP1. Let me fix our supply. Yep, and then right, if we get a break of those levels, there's a chance we could see these 43 levels hit. So we'll call that TP2. Bearish entry. This most recent price action. And let me go back to my daily so we can identify bearish entry. There we go. Bearish entries right there, 42.01. All right, and then I'm gonna change the colors for these guys. Don't worry. But you'll notice with all the banks, they all look exactly like this. So you can take this concept during your morning routine and apply it as necessary to really anything you want. You guys know this isn't investment advice, but the ability to see these kind of things in the market. And then, like I said, play them to your favor, especially knowing you have a, catalyst tomorrow or today. Okay, come on. I'm going to move it. There we go. Yeah. So, especially when you have a catalyst and you have stocks that might be affected by a catalyst, it's always good at the very least to do your due diligence with some technical analysis, get some ideas, flowing. I always recommend, if you're going to take the time to look at a chart, look at it in both directions, see what could happen, both to the bearish momentum and to the bullish momentum. That way you're prepared for either one. If you're going to take the time to chart a stock, you might as well, take the time to formulate both a bullish case and a bearish case for it. That way, whichever one plays out, you're just right. Now, when you're playing these kinds of patterns, right, where you have technically, I mean, this is a straight up rejection pattern at the top of a channel. And so when you have these kind of patterns, as you move into profit, it's very important that you move your stop loss to the next level. This will help you secure profits and make sure that as you are trading, you're trading responsibly and making sure that, you're actually realizing the gains that you're seeing. So for any of these plays we see, make sure you guys move your stop losses as the plays start to move into profit. The beautiful thing about formulating plays in both directions is that whichever one lands you in a profit, right, is awesome. And so just take this into account. Right, we hope we could get something like a flush going here where things just pull down pretty drastically. But we also could get things to the upside. And so we would just want to make sure that we are planning for both scenarios, so that whichever one happens, we're prepared for and we're good to go. So I'll see you guys in the morning. But check out your banks at open, see what's happening with them. And then, we'll be watching this stuff very closely as we move into the events for the day. And price action will tell the tale. So I'll see you guys in the morning, and let's eat these gains up on Lotto Friday.